If you're from the United Kingdom, then you will more than likely know about the rising epidemic of knife crime, which is becoming a real problem in the country. What is scary about this is that even children and teenagers are starting to carry knives, and even use them. This case takes place on the outskirts of Reading, in a village named Emmer on the 3rd of January 2021. Reading is a small town in the United Kingdom, and a relatively safe place to live. On this day, a woman was taking her dog for a walk in the wildlife conservation area, called Bugs Bottom. This area was popular amongst joggers, dog walkers, and families. As she was walking at around 4 p.m, she noticed people in the distance, huddled around someone lying on the ground. She was curious as to what was going on, so she got a little closer. And what she saw was a truly heartbreaking sight. She saw the pale face of a young 13-year-old boy, receiving CPR from the people who were around him. Someone had attacked him violently, and left him there to bleed out on the floor. The boy's name was Ollie Stevens. Someone had beaten him and stabbed him in the back of the neck. The police were called at just around 4 p.m, with reports of the young man who had been violently attacked in the fields. The paramedics and the police arrived and took over from the Good Samaritan who tried to save the 13-year-old boy. But despite their combined best efforts, Ollie tragically passed away at the scene. And where he died, he was only 250 yards away from his house, where he lived with his mum, dad, and sister. But who could have done this? And what kind of person would attack an adolescent with a knife, and do it so brutally? The police would soon unravel the dark truth and the shocking and sinister motive for this attack. Another dog walker said she saw a group of young people standing in the woods in Bugs Bottom fields at around 3:30, and she described their behaviour as slightly unusual and that something just didn't seem quite right. But she didn't think too much of it at the time. The investigation soon began to find whoever had killed Ollie and bring them to justice. But first, someone had to identify Ollie's body. Ollie's father had to verify the body and confirm that it was indeed his son who had been killed. Something that no parent should ever have to do. This is the current story as to what happened on that night. Ollie was a rather popular young man, and he didn't seem to have many enemies that would do this to him. Ollie had autism, but this never hindered his ability to harbour relationships with people. Ollie had a girlfriend at the time of his killing, and they both had a dispute over something. Ollie was upset and angry at his girlfriend as she had been sending messages and explicit images to another person. She was angered that Ollie was annoyed with her, and she claimed that he shouted at her at some point. So, she decided to do something truly despicable. It's speculated that she sent out a message offering £154 and 94 pence to somebody who would be willing to hurt Ollie and rob him. In her words, to teach him a lesson. She sent this message out on Snapchat to a bunch of people that she thought may go along with this sickening request of revenge, essentially creating a Snapchat contract. And disturbingly enough, people did indeed accept this offer. She allegedly sent a message to Ollie, luring him to the spot where the attackers were waiting for him. Ollie left his house and said he was going out. He said bye to his mother, who told him to stay safe as he walked out the door. This was the last time she would ever see her son alive again. Then, as Ollie walked unsuspectingly through the field, the attackers jumped out and plunged the blade into his neck. The blade that was used was believed to be a katana, a samurai sword. Then they fled the scene and left Ollie to die all alone. And if this wasn't disturbing enough, the girl and the 4 boys who were responsible were between the ages of 13 and 14. I am unable to share the identities of the killers, and I myself don't know their names. However, this video was shared on social media. The video was made by one of the killers who stabbed Ollie. He can be seen brandishing his weapon and making threats to someone. Here it is.
You dumb Ollie, bro, I'll fucking kill you, fam. I'll fucking end you. Watch, alright, if you're on badness, yeah? If you're on badness, alright, listen, I'm coming outside your school tomorrow. Be there, have your shank, and we'll see where I'm going.
The person who he was speaking about in the video wasn't Ollie as far as I know, and the blade that you saw in that short clip is the weapon that was used to stab Ollie. It's disturbing to see such a young person talking in this manner and making these kind of threats, and also knowing what he was actually capable of and what he would do to Ollie in the future. A fact that I found quite disturbing is that there are multiple Instagram accounts that have been created of the girl who was responsible for setting up the killing of Ollie, and they seem to be some kind of fan accounts or some kind of tribute to her. Out of the 5 people who were initially arrested, 3 people have been charged in total so far in this ongoing case. 2 of the males have been let out on bail, although the girl has been charged with perverting the course of justice. She has been found deleting messages from her phone and various other pieces of information. And she has also tried to ask other people to delete their text messages that she had sent to them too. As I said before, I am unable to mention the names of the people who were involved or show their faces due to legal reasons regarding their age, and I would also advise anyone not to share the names of the killers, as it can land you in some trouble. The case is still ongoing, but I thought it was a rather important case to share. I will be making an update to this video when the killers are sentenced. It's likely that the people who were involved in this sickening crime will get a short sentence due to their age, and upon their release, they will be given new identities to protect them from revenge attacks or harassment. So, we will never get a confirmation as to who these individuals are, but the community knows and likely won't forget. Ollie's family made a statement saying he always stood his ground and fought for the underdog while having an amazing depth of love, warmth and wit. In his final moments, he must have been terrified, fighting to get home. He had everything to live for. We now only have memories. An Ollie-sized hole has been left in our hearts. The family described the tragedy as every parent's worst nightmare, but they also said that they were incredibly grateful for those who helped at the scene. His sister also made a touching post on social media. She said, "I'm so sorry I failed you. I wish I could have saved you from it all. We will get justice for you, my angel." Hundreds of people lined the streets at Ollie's funeral to pay their respects to the young man. It's clear that he was a well-loved and valued member of the community and will be greatly missed. Hello everyone, so I thought I'd do a little quick update just to let you all know that I will be leaving Sydney fairly soon. I need to go and do some more regional work again for my 3rd year to stay in Australia. So I'm going to try my best to keep content coming out, and I'm going to try and stick to the 2 times a week schedule. But there might be a period when I get to Queensland where I might be only able to make 1 video a week, but that will only be for 1 or 2 weeks, and then after that we'll get back on the schedule that I promised. So just bear with me. while I do this, because I'm moving to a completely new place and I need to find a job and I need to find somewhere to live too, so it's going to be a bit of a tricky one for me. But thank you very much anyway, and I'll see you guys in the next video.